So RG3 is still getting backlash for his obsession with Angel Reese and continuously talking about the young female on an everyday basis for content purposes nonstop. Now, DJ Bless One was the first, well, let me give props to Rob Parker and DJ Bless One were the only, I looked everywhere online, I looked everywhere, we were the only two people who always spoke against RG3. I looked everywhere, y'all. Now, all you look on the internet, hundreds and hundreds of people speaking about RG3. When did Bless One warn you guys about RG3? We'll get to that later on in the video, but I told you people, RG3 does what he's doing for a reason. So if you guys don't know, RG3 for the last 6 months to a year, and if you want to know an aficionado like Bless One, for the last 2 years, that nigga RG3 been just going ham on Angel Reese's, bro. He been having his male wife sit there as he disparages a black woman in favor of his male woman. There's nothing you can get around. There are even male people in agreement with me. RG3 is catering as the Cornball brothers would do. Now let's fast forward. What does that mean? Well, he gets on his pulpit and then he starts putting out false information that was never true to begin with. You know, saying Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark simply because his melatopic of purified whiteness he has to protect. You know, much like his ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, and the current wife, they were all, bitch, you guessed it, white. But let's fast forward with that. So forget about him saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Let's pretend that's true. It's everything he said else that was a lie. You know how Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese said she wanted to be the bad guy. Even that dude, Ime Echo, the one who's on the Fox Sports, lied too. And they keep telling you that Angel Reese wanted to be the bad guy. How does a junior in college wants to be a bad guy when all she did started off this whole entire racist hate because she went like this? Then ESPN was the ones who pick up the narrative to make it Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark been doing this since her sophomore year. Caitlin Clark, all of her junior year before Caitlin Clark got a rise in the media because of those beautiful black women, she's been doing this, and ESPN was hyping it up until the sister did it. Now ESPN are pretending they're protecting Angel Reese. I'm gonna let that stupid plane go away. They pretend they were protecting Angel Reese during her junior year, talking about, oh, blah, blah, blah. Basically narratives to fit their agenda, but people don't pay attention to that. So I did. When Angel was a junior, Dawn Staley and South Carolina women were defeating all these Mayo teams. The LSU women with Flage as a freshman and sophomore, all these group of women defeating the Mayo teams. It brought excitement back to basketball, even for Mayo people, because Mayo people just had Mayo women versus Mayo women. You know, the Connecticuts of the world. It got boring. So what happened was the race aspects of it. You know, ESPN can't wait to introduce the race aspect, black versus white, and they were in love with it. You had groups of Mayo people who don't watch sports, don't watch basketball, but they see this Caitlin Clark. She's a reflection of their Mayo community. She reminds them of their granddaughter. They don't know what a 2-point is, and even the ones who somewhat know basketball, but they don't watch women basketball. Then all of a sudden, they started attacking our women as if they're staunch Caitlin Clark supporters. Meanwhile, real Caitlin Clark supporters like me couldn't even really support her like that no more because it got uncomfortable. And every comment sections, you know, because the comment sections was created for Mayo people to hide their racisms in the comments. Things that they'll never say to you in real life. If you want to know what Mayo people feel about black people, just look at the comments. They're going to tell you that's not real feelings. Then you're an idiot if you don't believe them. What they show you, who they are, fucking always believed them. But let's fast forward. So now Angel Reese is the most hated woman in America because she defeated that nostalgia, that essence of pureness of maleness, mayonnaise. You feel me? That was Caitlin Clark. The movie should have been Caitlin Clark had the national championship. So the same group of people who tell melanated people that stop being sore losers, accept the law, obey the law, they're the same group of people who tried to move the goalposts for their male pureness. You know, they said that they're thugs. The LSU women, they don't deserve the win, even though they earned a win, but they don't deserve the win because they're thugs, EBT babies. Is there proof they're thugs or EBT babies? No, but if I'm male, I say so. That's the mentality. So you fast forward, you got old degenerate white males who don't watch the game. You got women like Jill Biden talking about, oh, we need to invite the Iowa women to our White House. I think we all can agree. When she said, I think we all, who is we all? She was talking about other male people. So she said, we all. You know what patriotism really is? It's not for you and me. Patriotism is for male people to say they're the real Americans. But you'll never talk about that because a lot of you stepping fetchings prefer to be the expedition, the exhibit. I'm trying to watch not to get in trouble on YouTube, but basically you prefer to be what Samuel Jackson character was. Let's just be honest and say it, y'all. You're more comfortable with that type of aspect. So now let's fast forward to RG3. See, Rob Parker called him a cornball brother for only one reason. It had nothing to do with RG3 loving male women. It had everything to do with how he cowers down in favor of the male community. If you guys don't know why Rob Parker called him a cornball brother, Rob Parker and Skip Bayless went out their way during that time to protect RG3 from the mismanagement of the Shanahan families, of the Redskin families. See, Rob Parker, when he used to get his little segments on Cold Pizza, then when it became First Take, and then Skip became big or whatever, Rob Parker used to put it out there that what the Redskins are doing are unprofessional and racist. Meaning what they're putting RG3 through was sick. They rushed him out of a serious injury, which RG3 should have been shut down for the entire year. They rushed RG3 back and gave him more scrambling packages. Like this is Little League football with wishbone packages. Knowing that man's legs was not ready for NFL action yet, and was not ready to take any more hits like that. They didn't get acclimated. They didn't adjust. They just let him to be out there to be a vagabond roaming place to place until his career was over with. But we're not going to get into that. So Rob Parker called him a cornball brother because RG3 went out his way to defend the Shanahans, to defend the Redskins. Now, all of a sudden, 10 years later, RG3 is talking about mismanagement. But you see how it works. That's a cornball brother, one who's afraid to call out injustice, one who's afraid to stand up like a man. Your whole life you're catering, you're pandering. It's uncomfortable. Real brothers like Rob Parker and DJ Bless One, we will always look at you guys in the eye and call y'all cornball brothers. Just like I was in the club yesterday, 8 niggas. You feel me? I'm a kid. I love all my Africans, but it was 8 Africans in an African club. I tried to chill, trying to think they can bully me like they never seen a girl before. My wife was like only 20 girls in that club, and I don't want to get into that, but I'm trying to tell you, DJ Bless One ain't no coward. That's what I'm pretty much putting it out there. So RG3, what makes a cornball brother? You want to get these people to love you, so you denigrated Angel Reese. You made Angel Reese look like the monster of the year, bro. You went out your way to say she wanted this one. How can Angel Reese wake up and white America hates her guts and she's never did any crime? She's never even been an unsportsmanlike player. All she did was yap back at Caitlin Clark, the same one who's been yapping at black women for her entire career and being rewarded by the media. But then everywhere you look, anytime Caitlin Clark plays, the male community, the male media, and the black stepping fetchings are all angry because these beautiful women don't lay down for Caitlin Clark. They don't just say, here, Caitlin Clark, you're the greatest of all time, make a free point. Here, Caitlin Clark, go shoot a three. I'm not going to play too much defense on you, because if I play too much defense, they're going to say I hate you. They're going to say we're all against you. When you would think all this special treatment Caitlin Clark gets, she's this greatest in the world, until you actually watch Caitlin Clark play, until you actually been following her for over 4 or 5 years, unlike these fake racist fans, and you realize it's always been what it is. Caitlin Clark overrated. They're doing the same thing with Cooper Flagg. He went 5 for 21. They kept quiet about it. They hid what Cooper Flagg did and his abysmal performance. Then Cooper Flagg throws 31 points in garbage time. Look, I told you he's the greatest in the world. But where were these people 2 days ago when the overhyped nigga only scored 10 points? And that's what I'm saying. This ain't about sports. It ain't about none of that. This is bigger than sports. It's deeper than sports. I told you about guys like RG3, and you people keep bitching and complaining about guys like RG3. When you gonna dismiss these dudes? I tell you, I get attacked because some bitch in Idaho loves RG3. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, RG3, Ryan Clark is a good dude, bro. Ryan Clark sometimes act like a professional victim too much, and I agree with y'all, but I love Ryan Clark. Is he wrong? I love any black man and black woman, white man and white woman, any race of people who defend us, who defend humanity, but not with fake defending humanity. You really believe all of us are humans, meaning that you'll see somebody who's an activist and say they love everybody, when the truth is they just love Mayo people and they want approval of Mayo people, and they want, bitch, you guessed it, acceptance of Mayo people. So no, I stand for what's right. Ryan Clark said what he said, and instead of the media looking at the key points that Ryan Clark talked about, they said that Ryan Clark talked about RG3 kids because RG3 bitch ass got on there. He negated everything he said about Angel Reese, danced around what people asked him and questioned him on, and just went to straight beta male talking about, don't talk about my kids. You can talk about this, you can talk about that, but don't talk about my kids. Shut your bitch ass up, RG3. When they called you a cornball brother, you got Rob Parker removed off of ESPN. When they called you a cornball brother, 10 years, 11 years later, you went up on Stephen A. Smith's show crying like a bitch about it. But I thought this was about it. People can talk about anything as long as it's not about your family. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up, bro. Look, man, I'm DJ Bless One, the best one. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. The same group of Mayo people who tell us sports, responsibility, challenges, and redemptions, these are the qualities of sports. Until it looks like them, they want you to bow down and call them the greatest. That's the real niche of the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Robert Griffin situation. Bow down and call Mayo people the greatest despite the facts.